Oh, Jesus.
show,
Oh, my
except this
God.
time, except this
I need to
opening
drink.
show.
Hold on.
And I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so Knoxville.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
when I heard that this fight was going down, I thought it wasn't going to happen. Not an actual fight, and I was right. Right? I bet Ethan Ralph $20 that it wouldn't happen. That Tonka wouldn't show up.
Oh,
I won
God,
that
you're
bet.
such a
He didn't show
prophetic
up.
person, Coach.
Right? Now, I was supposed to be in New York. Somebody said that I was going there on like a book tour,
You've
or that I
told people
claimed
you were
that, which
going
is
on
a
a book
complete and
tour. I
total
have
lie. I never
clips of
said
you
that.
saying
I
it.
had
You're a
some
fucking
business
liar.
in New York,
Yeah, you were
and
selling
it was a business
Argentinian
that I couldn't
bonds.
arrange in terms of scheduling. And so I went to New York, did my business there, did a meetup with some of my fans, and then flew down to Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm sure your whole
Flew down
two
to
fans that
Knoxville.
were there were really there to
Uh,
meet you.
I'd hoped to see a fight, but like I said, I didn't think that there was going to be one. That's why I made my bet with Ethan, and I won that bet. And I'm there in Knoxville, okay, and we had a great time. It was just a lot of fucking fun. It was just a lot of fun because Andy's a very dynamic character. You know, Ethan is a
Yeah,
very dynamic character,
and you tried to steal
and we
Andy's
had
bed
a
because you're a
great
piece of
time.
shit and you barely paid
Now,
any money towards the
the
house.
thing that people ask, what happened in the house? Who paid for what? Because that's something that happened the other day. See, Zoom goes on Ethan Ralph's channel and tries to,
I didn't try
have
to.
people
I
infer
said
that
it
I
was the
didn't
truth.
pay my share
You
of the
didn't. You
house.
paid
I did pay my
$150.
share of the house.
Multiple people said you
The
did.
house was $600. I paid Ralph $100 because Ralph had forked over the
You
cash for the
paid Ralph
house,
$100. You paid Andy 50. You're
and
a
I
fucking
paid
liar.
Andy 150
No, you
because
didn't.
I wanted to have the solo room because I had gear, and frankly, I'm just not up for
Yeah,
sleeping
gear
on
that
a
you
couch
brought
in
that
the living
nobody
room.
told you to
Sorry,
bring.
maybe I'm just old, but that's that. So I paid him $150 because when we got to the house, I just took dibs on the bedroom. I assumed that everybody was going to have a bedroom.
No,
But you show up and
you
there's
took the
only two
bedroom
bedrooms.
and didn't
The
even
larger
ask.
one, Ethan was already there,
Andy
and the
had the
smaller
biggest
one,
one. You took it. You're a liar,
well,
coach.
I got dibs on it, and Andy throws a hissy fit, and I'm like, "Fuck off! I'm sleeping here, and that's that."
Andy didn't throw a hissy
And he
fit.
chilled out like a good little
Uh,
puppy,
Oh, he
you
didn't
know.
chill out. He said he was
And
going to beat the shit out of you, and you
I
fled the
paid
fucking
my
apartment.
share to.
Let me just stop him right there. He didn't chill out. Andy said he was going to beat the shit out of him in the middle of the house. And Coach was such a pussy that he left the house and then came back an hour later and apologized. This is how much of a liar Coach Jew Pill is.
Andy, I paid him 150 because if it was 600, it was going three ways, 200 each, right? It would have been 200 for Ethan, 200 for Andy, and 200 me. But I paid 100 plus 150. The 150 Andy to chill him out and have him like not be so upset that he's not getting a bedroom to himself.
Well, considering it's his trip, it's all centered around him. It's his fight that he was supposed to have. You invited yourself along because you're, self-important. And then you jumped into his room while they were out drinking, and he came home ready to, go to sleep, and his shit was already in the room. But like usual, coach, you gotta twist the narrative because you're a retard.
And so what? I paid 250. I paid my own way. Yeah, but of course, like
Nope.
Ethan Ralph, when Zoom is telling him this, Ethan Ralph isn't saying shit, right? He's not saying that I paid my own way. He's like, well, oh, Zoom, because he's afraid of Zoom, because that's the fact. Ethan Ralph is just chicken shit because he's afraid of what Zoom will do, because Zoom is the kind of guy who will do anything. Now, the thing is, why should I care that Ethan Ralph doesn't stick up for me? Well, boys and
You
girls, I'll tell
clearly
you.
care.
See, because I took care of Ethan while we were in Knoxville. I'll tell you a little
Oh, did you
story,
did you
boys
kiss
and
him?
girls.
Did you suck his
While we
dick?
were there, Ethan was drunk most of the time, except in the mornings. Because let's face facts, Ethan is at heart an alcoholic.
Oh God, this is
He
such
is an
groundbreaking
alcoholic. He
stuff.
cannot function
Ethan's an
without
alcoholic. Holy shit.
Maker's Mark or whatever the fuck he drinks. And that's a fact. You know, I mean, like, ugh. So,
Huh? You see, Ethan's problem is he's a drunk. Huh? And that's not the Disney way.
one night, I forget which night in particular, but Gator saw this. So I have a witness to this. One night, you know, like at 2 a.m., Ethan's drunk, and some people are passing outside and banging on the door of the house. They're banging on the door of the house, right? And just being annoying, you know, because the street we're on was a busy street, and there was a club right next door to us. The club music didn't bother in the house, but the people passing by would just bang on the gate. Ethan, drunk, gets it in his head to go outside and, you know, confront somebody. And who is he going to confront? Who knows? Because whoever banged it and annoyed him is probably just, you know, yards down the street by the time he comes out, right? I'm the one who goes out and tries to calm him down. I'm the one pulling him to get back into the house. Nobody else is doing anything, right? I pull him back into the house. And as I am pulling him back into the house, there is a cop crossing the street to see what the ruckus is about. If Ethan isn't back in the house, he would have been arrested.
Oh
How
God.
much more time would he have been in jail?
Is this
Because
your
he's out on
groundbreaking
probation.
thing, Coach? This is your groundbreaking release. You pulled him into the house while he was drunk because he went outside to yell at somebody. Holy shit, Coach. Oh my God, this is so shocking, you know, the idea of somebody being drunk and inebriated and having somebody pull them in the house. Oh man, you're really dropping bombs today. Like usual, you failed to deliver anything worth listening to.
You know, the rest of his sentence was suspended. He'd be in jail now. I saved his ass. He would have been in jail. That cop was crossing the street. He was maybe fucking 5 yards away as I'm pulling him back into the house.
Let's skip ahead.
And the
I gotta
cop's
skip ahead
like,
of the next
what's
chapter.
going on? We didn't have a clear idea what. It was just like, okay, we're definitely going to do something else. I thought, foolishly on my part, I thought that I had a rapport with the guy. And that, you know, me basically saving him from going to jail actually meant something. Me saving him from going to jail for another year or maybe 2.
Ralph
You know,
is a
goes out
chicken shit.
there,
5
maybe he
seconds
takes a
later,
swing at the
Ethan
fucking
walks
cop, right?
outside to beat
What
Simeon's
would that
ass,
have been, huh?
which is
You
it,
tell
Coach
me,
Roach.
Ethan, 2, 3, 4 years? I wouldn't know because I've never been arrested. Fuck. I saved his fucking ass, and I thought that that actually meant something.
You thought that
know,
it
when
would give
somebody
you the
starts
ability to
spreading
take
lies
advantage of
about
him, is
me,
what you thought.
lies that he knows because he was there.
Thanks for the
He was there
donation,
in the
Purple
conversations.
Palladino. Yep, his story
He
never
just,
makes sense.
I don't know. I'll Zoom. You know, I'm so chicken shit afraid of you that I'm not going to say fucking shit
Oh,
to
please,
all the
Coach,
lies
you're
you're
chicken
spewing
shit afraid of
about
me.
the guy who saved my ass from going to jail.
You're the one that was leaving
off.
Discord because I called you a faggot.
Fuck
Come
off.
on.
Ethan, yeah, you're just a chicken shit little fuck.
And you're a chicken shit
mean,
too,
bottom
Gonzalo.
line-
You ran like a little
Yeah,
bitch because I
and
made
Chad,
fun
you
of
might
you on
think that I'm
Discord.
burning a bridge. I don't give a fuck. It's just...
Yeah, you don't give a fuck. That's why you're
maybe
dedicating
I'm
an
just
entire
fucking
show to it, right?
I probably am.
I know when
Okay,
people
fine.
normally don't give
So
a
I'm
fuck, they
naive.
don't do a show about it.
I
Don't you know that?
thought that there was such a thing as, you know, just a little bit of fucking loyalty. Huh?
Oh,
Okay.
I thought I could use this to
Now,
take advantage of Ethan Ralph. Oh.
Andy. See, Andy, I don't mind what his actions in Knoxville. You know, he fucked some chick. He got some blowjob from some chick and then fucked her, right? That I don't mind. You know what I mind?
Why do you know
That he was
this, Coach?
scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, she was just like this real porker. I mean, this tattooed porker.
So wait a
There
minute.
was a
Coach is
lot of
mad
good
because
rhythm
Andy
in
got
Knoxville.
pussy, apparently?
Andy was the big hero, you know? But no, he couldn't work up the motivation, work up the gumption to go after some, you know, better trim. No. He settled for the porker, you know? He settled for the bottom of the
Yeah,
barrel.
this coming from a guy that got tricked into a fucking anchor baby in Russia with a retarded girl from the Ukraine. He's gonna talk about picking
Omar should
better
go
choices
into
to
the on-air
fucking
VC
smash
in
pussy
your
at.
Discord and do rounds of
She's another
shitting
porker.
on
She's another
CRP.
bottom of the barrel, you know? That indicates
Bottom of the barrel. This guy fucked a woman in the Ukraine and got stuck in a wedlock relationship where now he now has to live in a shithole.
I'm sorry, I don't scrape the bottom as far as
Yeah.
my women are concerned. I'm certainly not going to show pictures of the women I'm with now, but I don't scrape the bottom of the barrel. Andy,
Yeah,
man,
I'm
and
sure
he's
you
like
don't.
acting like he's like the big stud.
You're living in an
It's like
office in the Ukraine, but you're not scraping the bottom of the barrel.
you,
Come
you
on.
you fucked the town pig, and you're like Casanova. That's kind of weird. That's Andy. Andy is just Andy's manipulated by whomever is closest to him at any given time.
And you're a little bit
Whoever
upset that
lies
you
to him
couldn't
the
be that
best
person, aren't
is
you,
his best
Coach?
friend. Okay?
Coach
It's no
wanted to be the
surprise that
person that
Zoom is now his
manipulated him.
bestie.
Is that why you wanted to try and profit off of him and Ethan? Because you're
just-
so
okay.
broke you can't
So
afford
anyway,
it?
about Knoxville. The Knoxville thing, this is so cringe. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I
I'm just going to
really
keep doing a
don't.
stream
I just
about it.
have to get this off my mind.
Let me try to pull
off my
this
chest.
bullshit from the
Because
ether.
I just found it so
Oh,
low.
It's so
so
low. Oh,
that
oh my
things
God.
that
Oh,
Ethan Ralph knew
it's
were
so
untrue.
upsetting. Oh, I don't
didn't say
care, but I'm
fucking
just
shit
going to
about
keep talking about it like a female. Oh, I'm so
Okay, I'll
passive
give you another
aggressive.
example. See, like when we got back from Knoxville,
Oh.
there's this whole thing of like, let's
You know, my friend JF Garippi, he shouted out my
do,
book, and Andy's
do
talking
another-
shit to him, and I
do
can't
another
have that happen. Oh,
And out of the blue, Andy calls me. Okay, he sends like a bunch of Discord messages. He wants to call me and talk to me, and fine. Okay, fine. We talk. Okay. He goes on and on about Shaban for the first 10 minutes or whatever, right? And then
Shaban.
he's like,
Shaban.
he's saying, let's do another. Knoxville was so cool and blah, blah, blah. Now, this is before it was decided later.
You're siding with
between Ethan
JF,
and
you
Andy
fucking
to go
rat.
to, Miami. Okay? So they're like, let's do something, blah, blah,
Jesus
blah. Sure,
Christ.
that's not.
Even when he's telling a fucking story, he can't get to the point. He makes a 7-minute pitch video on Indiegogo about a book that he doesn't even have finished. And he can't even get me interested enough to want to donate $1. And he's telling me this fucking story about Knoxville. And I don't even want to listen to most of it because it's just him bloviating about nothing. Look, I'll put it back on right now. I guarantee you he hasn't gotten to the point.
A multimedia package, like streaming, videos,
I rest my case.
multiple channels, sort of like a group effort to pool our audiences and make a big bang, just like the Knoxville thing had happened. The Knoxville thing happened by accident, but this would have been like a deliberate move, right? Okay. So
Jesus Christ, get to the fucking
how'd it go?
point.
Oh yeah, we started talking about percentages, and so Andy says that he wants it to be 25 him, 25 Ethan, 25 me, and he wants to split the fourth quarter between SoCal and AG, whom I have never interacted with. I have no idea who these people are.
Oh God,
Okay,
this
I
is
just
so
no clue
groundbreaking. It's
whatsoever.
not like I didn't talk about this the other day. You
But
fucking
Andy says
Jew.
that they're his buds, they're his bros, and all the rest of it. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this thing, for me, would be sort of like, I'm not comparing myself to either of these people, but it would be like Terry Gilliam with Monty Python or Spike Jonze with Jackass people. And I'm not comparing myself to these guys. I'm just saying that they were guys who were on the production side of things, behind the camera, because like on Monty Python, everybody knows about Terry Gilliam's animation, but he also directed a lot of the skits and all the rest of it. He was the key mover insofar as directing the actual shorts and skits of Monty Python. Ditto with Spike Jonze.
I'll make it a lot easier for you guys. It would be like if George Lucas, which is going to be Ralph, and Steven Spielberg on cocaine, which is Andy, decided to hang out and slum with Hugh Boll, who makes some of the worst fucking movies you could ever imagine. And Hugh Boll was like, I should get 1/3 of the profits for my shitty cinematography. That's basically what it is. This guy needs to stop fucking talking himself up. I'm so tired of this shit.
SoCal Andy or SoCal Chris, I forget. SoCal, whatever his name is, and AG, what they would bring to the table, if anything. I mean, from what Andy was describing, they were basically his bros who would be camera operators. Now, camera operating is rather difficult. You have to know what you're doing, but
Yeah,
it's a
which you
job.
clearly
You
don't
know,
know how to
it's
do,
not
judging by how
somebody who
terrible
gets
your
a
last
percentage
fucking
of the
movie
action.
was.
So I said, well, why don't we have it 33, 33, 33 between me, Ethan, and Andy, and we just pay these guys a salary, a grand or two a month
That's
for the
not
two
what you
months that it
said.
takes to do this
You
thing,
said you didn't
you
want
know,
them
for the
paid
next
at
one.
all. You're such a fucking liar,
And
coach.
Andy had this long fucking pause. And that's when I realized, see, what was really going down was that Andy wanted to control 50% of this project because it would be his 25 plus the 25 that he was going to be splitting with his bros. But he'd control that. So it'd
Oh
basically
yeah,
be
because Andy's
Andy
totally
owning
the type,
50%
after
or
all the
controlling
times he's
50%.
gotten fucked over,
And
he's
Ethan and
totally gonna
me
be just
being
keeping
like,
the money for himself.
minority stakeholders in this thing. And that's when I knew, no, this isn't a partnership. This is
No,
Andy's
what
thing. He
what
just
you
wants to
did
have
was you
partners
tried
so
to
he doesn't feel
shaft
so
him so that
alone.
you can get more of a profit, and you got
And,
upset because they didn't
you
buy
know,
your bullshit, coach.
I'm like, you know, we start arguing about this. And right there, you know, Andy gets really fucking hot under the collar, and I'm realizing this isn't going to work.
Because it was
This is
supposed to
not
be a
going to
fun
work at
thing with
all.
all of them,
Okay?
and you had to make it about money
And,
because you're a fucking
you
Jew.
know, we say bye, let's talk about it, think about it. I don't hear from Andy ever again. And I know that I'm not going to. And I tell Ethan, no hard feelings on my part. Because I know exactly what went down, and I have no hard feelings, and I don't care. You know, I mean, if it's not going to happen,
You
it's not
don't
going to
care.
happen.
You're
And lots of
talking
times,
about it two
I've
months
had
later, and
preliminary
you're still
conversations about
crying about
potentially
it.
some business deal, and just
I've
doesn't
never
go
seen
down.
somebody say they don't care and
And so, you
continue to
know,
talk
I'm
about
down with
something.
it. I'm fine. I'm
Oh
not
God, I gotta
trying
mute
to
this fucking
cut.
guy. You know what happens when I don't care about something? I just don't talk about it. Like, I don't care about Tonka. I haven't made fun of him in like 2 weeks. That's what happens when you don't care. You don't talk about it. It's out of your mind, out of sight, out of mind. This guy is doing a fucking stream where he's crying his eyes out because he didn't get his Jew share of fucking a thing that he felt entitled to.
Also, they should be the ones who take the hit when there's a downside. So, a guy, a camera operator, a sound man, you know, it's a job, right? He shouldn't be at risk if the thing succeeds or fails. So I was saying that these guys should be put on a salary. I said,
Oh yeah,
a
coach, because
grand
we
or
need more
two
of your
a month.
financial advice. This coming from a man that took a loan out from his cousin to start a content website in which he had, you know, the guy Steve Keen, write all the content for it, and then he does absolutely nothing. And the guy made him $40,000. They split it down the middle, and he still owed his cousin $5,000. And he is such an ineffective entrepreneur that to make up the difference for the 5,000, he sold it to a loan shark so that they could recoup the losses, and then he was alienated from his entire family because of it. He leaves that whole part out of the story, though.
Contribute. So I don't get it. I'd never heard of these people. They don't have any kind of YouTube channel and whatever. And so Andy, he gets all pissed. He got incredibly angry over just this civil and normal conversation about how the equity in some project would be divided. And that just fucking clued me in. Okay. That just made me realize, no, man, I don't have the patience to be babysitting some guy. Okay. Because that's what it would be. It would be a babysitting gig, babysitting the moods of Andy Worski. Fuck that. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, coach, you were really concerned with the
So anyway,
booze.
I bring all this up, and I know it's boring, but the reason I'm bringing it up is that, see, Ethan Ralph, he's, you know, listening to
I don't
Zoom
care, but I'm just gonna keep
spread
talking
lies
about it.
about a conversation that
Oh.
Ethan was privy to. He was right there. And he later agreed with me.
You know what's funny is that Dick and Ethan both said that he did fight with him over the room, and both Ralph, Andy, as well as SoCal Chris and AG Luck have all told me that he wanted 1/3, and when he didn't get it, he backed out. That's what the truth is. And I've heard this from multiple people, and Ethan even said last night that when Coach told Andy to not pay those guys, immediately he backed off of it. And I can get fucking SoCal Chris and Andy in here right now, and they will back out the fact that Coach told them to not fucking pay them.
Guys should be paid. I didn't want them to have a piece of the equity of it. Fuck no. I mean, fuck.
See?
This is
Perfect time to
this is
unmute.
beyond retardation.
I didn't want them
Okay,
to have a piece of it. Fuck no.
beyond retardation on the one hand, but also it just
You
shows
are a
that Ethan is
fucking
just
piece of shit,
a
coach.
guy who will not stick up for you. He won't.
Look at
I
that.
want to ask you, Ethan, and I know that you're listening.
Coach just confirmed that
How
he
many
didn't want
guys
them
would
to
have
have
gone
money.
out there to try to stop you from starting a ruckus, in the middle of fucking Knoxville with a cop coming at you, huh? How many
Do
people
you
would
really
have tried
want
to
a
stop
fucking
you and
badge?
pull you back from the
Jeez,
brink?
I gotta
The
fucking
little
mute this guy. He really wants a badge and to try and guilt trip somebody simply because he did the right thing as a general person. If you're a genuinely kind person and you pulled somebody away and for what you interpreted could have been something that would have got them arrested, you do that just because it's right. You don't do it because you want to hold it over their head when things don't work out the way that you want. You don't sit there and say some stupid shit like, I saved your life. Okay, coach, you weren't in fucking Baghdad. You didn't pull him from a burning Humvee like in fucking Spectre 06's PTSD induced hallucinations. Okay? You didn't save his life. You pulled him back in the house when he was drunk and being retarded. You didn't save anyone's life. You're a fucking retard. You're such an idiot.
You're afraid of Zoom. Oh, that kind of cowardice is something I cannot stomach. I cannot stomach that level of cowardice.
Cowardice,
the guy
huh?
says only lies. For instance, I'm wandering around my studio right now. He
Yeah,
says
that
that I
office
live
again.
in my studio, which is not true because there's no bathroom in the studio and there's
Then why
no
are you
place
never at home?
to eat or wash or anything.
Why is he never at home? Why is he never with the kids or with the girlfriend? He's always alone.
Some shirts that I have hanging from my sofa.
Yeah,
And the
I
reason
did
I
spot
have
them.
shirts
Why do you
hanging
have a
on my sofa,
sofa?
t-shirts,
Why do you have a
is
shirt
because
there?
I usually film like 3 or 4 videos at a shot, and what I do is I just change shirts between each video that I shoot, so it looks, that it's not all single day, right? Because I just like grouping all my shooting for the one day, and then at leisure during the rest of the week, I edit my videos, right? Because I just drape my shirts over the what you would call it, the sofa here, my t-shirts, because I'm the only one here in my fucking studio. It's my fucking studio, right? He's like, oh, he lives there, which is just fucking absurd. But that's another of the lies he says. He said that a box on my table was full of socks. You know what it is? It's a box. It's a plastic box full of the dead cats for the microphones of my GoPros. He says all these lies, and it's like that guy El Ariachi, who at one point claimed that I wasn't even Latin American, that I was actually a Jewish guy from, I forget, it was Iowa or Texas. See? They spread this bullshit.
Oh my god, this is so
And
funny.
it's taken me the longest time to understand why. See, why would somebody spread a lie as insane that I'm not actually from South America?
By the way, he's not a coward, right? But yet, watch how quickly he runs away from people in Discord. He's not a coward. Let's just play this again.
I told everybody that I was on a book tour in New York, which is totally not true. I'd gone to New York for something completely different.
If you can prove it, prove it.
You can't prove a negative, so yeah, I'm not going to bother. So I just want to tell you.
The shops? Were you going to get some good old New York pizza?
I was buying Argentine bonds, to tell you the truth. But that's Zoom, right?
You're buying what?
Argentine
bonds. I heard what you were saying, but like this sounds less and less plausible.
Well, yeah.
You get a good return on Argentine bonds.
Why fucking stock in Argentina? Get out of here, my man.
Yeah, why Argentina?
You don't have to believe
seriously,
me.
why Argentina?
Anyway,
No,
I just want to tell you.
What are gonna do is sell you some maids.
Okay.
This is very interesting. Coach.
Good to have known you all. And this is the last time I'll be stopping by. So all the best to you all, and take it easy.
Fuck off. Coach Red Pill.
Hang on, Coach.
He lasted less than 65 seconds in Discord. But he's a brave man, right? He tried to tell people that he was in New York to invest in Argentinian bonds, which, by the way, Argentina has defaulted on its loans 7 times in the past 15 years. But he's investing in Argentinian bonds. Boy, I hate to be the guy that loaned you that money, coach.
An attempt to and who they present themselves as being so that they'll lose their audience. That's what it's all about. It's trying to denigrate them for the sake of hurting their audience. Now, if you notice something, see, like my audience, no problem with my audience, see? Because my audience and the IBS audience don't really overlap. A few people here and there. But, you know, when I make a fool of myself on IBS, I don't lose anybody insofar as my subscribers are concerned. And I've made a fool of myself plenty of times on IBS.
There's more people watching me than watching him right now.
Because for me, it's just like a holiday going on IBS. It's not like my main show. That's why when Andy does something stupid, he takes a hit on his subscriber base. Yeah, that's how it is, because they depend on this shit. I don't. For me, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby, guys.
But anyway, look, bottom line, I think that Andy is a very intelligent guy who has surrounded himself with horrible people because he doesn't know how to pick people. And frankly, the only people he wants around him are people who say yes
does
to
this
whatever
look like a hobby to you guys, by the way?
insanity he says. Okay? And so, of course, he's finally, descended to Zoom levels. Zoom will tell him
crazy hobby.
Any lie, no matter how outrageous or
Man, look at all this hobby
if
right
it
here.
conforms to what Andy believes or wants
Holy shit! Look at this hobby.
Okay, I mean, it's what's
this
the name
is
of
a hobby, guys.
Chat, help me out here.
I've been scrolling for 30 seconds straight.
I don't want to interact with the guy. I'm done with him. This is the last time I'm ever going to speak about him. Okay. I am not interested in having any kind of conversation with either one of these people or any of these people. I find them just pathetic, okay? And here's the news, just so that we're real fucking clear, okay? See, Andy acts like a top dog. No. Andy's got a dying channel.
Dying channel?
Andy,
are you sure about that?
Less than a quarter of my daily views. If you want to,
Coach,
look at the social
you're getting
media.
less views than I'm getting, and people fucking hate me.
His best day over the last month was worse than my worst day.
Oh yeah, you're the same guy that claimed that he had millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, that's the truth of it. Andy, whom I know you're listening. Andy, you have a dying channel. And you have devolved into this. I don't know what the fuck you are. I don't really care. You're just you're a smart guy. You're a talented guy. You're a very dynamic presence. You will go nowhere. Yeah. And I think that you fundamentally know that. And I think that that's why you just sabotage anything instead of like actually listening to people who are actually telling you things that you need to hear. What, you think I haven't met people like that before? When I was living in LA, there were tons of guys who...
Yeah, you did. His name was Steve Keen. He did all your work for you, and then he made you enough money to pay himself, and then bailed. You got conned. You're an idiot.
And their stroke of luck vanished, and they went down the tubes, and they never amounted to much.
Just like you.
I saw that, and boys and girls, I was one of those guys. Yeah. When I was like 27, 28, I made a shit ton of fucking money.
No, you didn't.
By, frankly, luck. Yeah, sure, I'd written some things that were pretty cool, sure.
No, you didn't.
I made a ton of fucking money, and I didn't listen to anybody. And I made stupid decisions, and I surrounded myself with the worst fucking people imaginable. And yeah, and by sheer luck, I was able to recover a few years later.
Are you pitching me a book, Coach?
Get
to the
I
fucking
learned my
end.
fucking lesson. But
Jesus
I don't think
Christ,
Andy's going to be that lucky, because in my own case, it was incredible luck that I had a second chance. You know, whatever Scott Fitzgerald said, you know, or no, he did say there are no second acts in American life. Fucking A. There are no second chances, you know? I mean, if you do have a second chance nowadays, you are incredibly lucky. I don't think Andy's going to have that kind of luck.
Oh, my God.
Especially
Coach, you make me want to kill myself.
The good luck that comes his way. Yeah. The Knoxville thing and the potential for making a show out of it, that was a colossal stroke of luck. It could have been like a big thing. I don't think it's going to be anything big. And
Coach, you literally make me want to kill myself.
And shit. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong about everything, you know. But I don't see it happening, you know. Not with the way things are going. Yeah, 20. It's been 20 minutes of ambient. Well, fuck off, Egon. I could give a shit.
Clearly you do. I don't know many people that will sit and
But,
ramble for 20 minutes about how they don't
I
care.
just have to say, I have to reiterate this point, and I don't care if you guys in chat are bored by this, but I just have to say it. You know, how low can you get of not sticking up for somebody when you were there, when you are hearing the bullshit of somebody who heard crap and is just making up lies?
Come on, coach. Get
And
to a
you're
fucking
hearing it.
point.
You're hearing shit being flung at a guy that you know didn't say what these lies are saying, right? You know it. A guy who saved your ass from jail.
Yeah, you saved his life.
Because you
He
would have gone to
owes
jail,
you
you think.
everything. He
You
should
and
be.
I fucking know
Fuck
it.
it. He should
You
give
don't believe me?
He
Ask
should give you
David.
45%.
He was right there. He was right behind me. He was right behind me. And I told you the very next morning what had happened. Fuck.
So
You know, a
wait
guy
a
like
minute.
that
Oh, hold on.
who doesn't.
So Ralph doesn't even remember this happening. For all we know, it didn't even happen, and Coach just made it up. What proof do we have that this even happened? Coach's biggest claim, his big exposure, was that Ralph apparently got blackout drunk, and Coach claims he saved his life. We have no proof that this ever happened. We have no proof that Coach ever saved Ralph's life. All we have is Coach feeling entitled to a large profit of something that he's not even involved with, that he claimed he was going to tag along with, in which he wants two people to travel alongside Andy and get paid nothing other than like a salary of $1,000 for like a few weeks, of which he's going to take a 33% share like a friggin' Jew. For what? Giving us poorly edited videos? I saw that fucking trailer that you filmed for the documentary. It was fucking terrible. I filmed better shit in fucking intro to camera work in fucking high school for a fucking art class. Like, you're just a garbage director. We saw your terrible fucking movie, Sequestro. Uh, I don't believe anything you say. I think you're a fucking liar. There's nothing you could tell me that I would believe, Coach. I don't believe anything you say because you had no problem with this. Yeah, every time you start hanging out with Josh and talking with him regularly, all of a sudden you have a problem with Ralph. Let's see. You know, Josh starts getting not invited on the kill stream anymore. All of a sudden you have a problem with fucking Ralph. Then he gets into it with fucking with Josh this morning on Kiwi Farms. All of a sudden you got a problem with Ralph again, and you're gonna expose him. Face it, just like him, you're a fucking skeptic, cuck. You have no morals. You have no backing. You're a goddamn liar. And you know what I thought was funny? I thought it was absolutely fucking hilarious when Aaron Clary called you out on your bullshit and talked about how you took a loan from your cousin and then you couldn't pay him back, and about how you lied about everything, like how you claim that you're like a millionaire and shit like that when you're not. It's really sad, Coach, at this point that you continue to lie and lie and lie. Let's listen to Coach talk about his money. You guys want to hear that? Let's listen to him talk about his money.
In a fucking YouTube channel. It's a fucking hobby.
Stephen
Okay?
Hawking
Some
here
people-
speaking beyond the
some
grave.
people-
Let it be known
some
I got
people
more
actually
pussy
like
in my
leaving
life
subs
more than this
how it
boomer
was a
fuck
good
you.
thing. It's like you're using the same logic JF does. My channel's bleeding hundreds of subs a day, but it doesn't matter.
You were the one who said that. I'm not bleeding subs.
Oh, here we go.
You were the one who argued that.
Bitch, I was saying.
Here's him
based
talking
on
about
what
his
I
money.
assume you're doing with your life and what I'm doing with mine. I'm probably in a better financial state than you. I have a better home than you. I have a wife. I have no bastard children. I mean, which one do you want to take?
Okay, you said that you had such a great bank account. Tell me how many figures in your checking account.
Actually, checking's pretty low. Probably only 5, right? I don't keep a lot of money in checking.
Okay. That's it?
No, what do you mean? You want to talk about my IRA? You want to talk about my stockholding?
Yeah, he's arguing with the quartering about money.
Net. How many figures?
Net, probably low 7s.
Okay.
At 35.
At 35. Okay, good. Low 7.
So low 7 figures at 35, you're talking about 3.5 million. Now listen to what Coach says.
That's net. Yeah?
Yes, I understand what net means.
Okay. I win. You got low 7s, I win by multiples.
Then you should be able to put in a $499 super chat right now.
Now here's another part about this. Quartering immediately confronts him about this. If he's got high 7s, millions of dollars, he should be able to throw a $499 donation into the chat right now. Watch his balls hit his throat. Just listen to this.
No.
Actually, I can't because I'm in Ukraine and super chat doesn't work here.
Oh shit.
PayPal works though.
Yeah.
There we go.
Do that.
Now watch the absolute silence from Coach in this response.
But yeah, I mean,
Why are you doing this? Why?
Oh, I've got the high 7s. I'm a fucking millionaire. Can't you guys tell? Okay, well then pay for $499 to the donation right now. I can't because I'm in the Ukraine. Well, PayPal works in the Ukraine. Well, why are you guys doing this, guys?
Why are you trying to see that you have a bigger dick than me? Why? Okay. You're a cum chugger. Face it.
And the minute you get down to ad hom, you've lost the argument. You guys want to hear the cool audio that I played earlier for the people that weren't watching, in which Coach was having a private call with Wrongful Bishop and Kraut. I'll pull up some great lies for there. Let's pull up some great lies from that story.
Please explain.
Okay, let's see. Let's get gotta get the old list out. So here's where Coach talks about his business with Steve Keen in this private call with Wrongful Bishop. Comes in right around 1745. Here we go.
Help make their money grow, and it turned out to be a big Ponzi scheme. And as you was, please explain.
In a very real sense, I have a moral.
Help make their money grow, and it turned out to be a big Ponzi scheme. And as he was making his promises, he knew that he would not be able to deliver. He was a confidence man, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd agree that that's what a confidence man is, right?
I think that makes sense.
Right. So this individual that I was associated with, in that relationship, who put up the money?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't bother to look into the very specifics of whether you or this individual had.
So funny story about this. The guy that runs Asshole Consulting, Aaron Clarny, talked with Coach and Steve Kane about this. And they both confessed to him that Coach was so angry about this because he took out a personal loan of $25,000 from his cousin, and then he wasn't able to recoup the money to give the return on investment to his cousin. The crowd stays muted for most of this call because it was just Coach and Wrongful Bishop talking at this point. And you're going to see a very different side to Coach when you listen to this explanation. Oh, well, it's not convenient, Narochi. They actually work together. Josh has confirmed this multiple times that they do business together.
I put up $25,000. Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So I put up $25,000, and he promised to put content on this website, this paid website, and I financed the design of it and the infrastructure of it and all the rest of it, the accounting and all that. I financed it, and he promised to put up content.
So what Coach basically did was he took a site and threw a template over it, and he was going to have Steve Keen write all of the content for the website, and Coach was going to do nothing. And then apparently This guy wrote on the site for about 2 months and then got tired of it, got burnt out because he was the only one doing any work. They made about $40,000 altogether out of a $25,000 investment. Wasn't that good of a return on investment. So what happens is he pays Steve $20,000 and he gets $20,000. So now he's out $5,000 on the investment. He tries to go back to his family and they say, "Well, we want the money. You owe us $25,000." Well, he says, "Oh, well, Steve's the one that owes it to you. He didn't produce enough content for us to make a return on investment." So his cousin's like, "Well, I don't care." So they actually go and they talk to this guy, Aaron Clarney, the asshole consultant. And what he says to CRP's cousin is, "Well, then sell the loan. Sell it to like a loan shark. They'll go out of their way to make the money back from Steve. And that's how you get it." Now, CRP, being completely naive to the investment game, even though he claims he's so savvy, had no idea what he was talking about. And Aaron Clarney actually tells the story in a video how CRP had no idea what he was talking about, but his cousin did. And they sold the loan to a loan shark. Yeah, the asshole consultant YouTube is involved with this. He actually did a whole video on it. I can pull it up if you want. Let me go grab it. Where is he in this? Oh, here it is.
You and just listen to Terrence Pops have a product. They just think entrepreneurship is those.
Here is Aaron Clarney talking about Coach Red Pill's shitty ability to be a finance guy and an entrepreneur.
They're going to major in business. They're going to go into business. They don't know any accounting. They don't have a product. They just think entrepreneurship is easy. And they took on a business partner. I do believe old Cappy has mentioned it many times. Wrote an article about it. Put it in several of my books. You never take on a business partner.
And what Coach did, because he's lazy and unoriginal, was he brought on Steve Keen to do all of the work. And he was the person that threw the money up, but he didn't want to actually do anything to make it work.
The reason why is because most people take on business partners, especially when they're younger, because they're bored and they just want to, they think it's going to be fun. They want to take on a business partner with somebody. 99% of the time, where I've seen business partners, one guy could have just done it without the other guy. And what always happens with business partners is one guy does all the work and finances the entire thing. The other guy is the parasitic loser who does absolutely nothing.
And in this case, CRP took money from his cousin, invested it into this, content delivery system, whatever the hell they were working on, and then left Steve Keen to do everything. Did absolutely no work. His idea of doing work was doing the accounting, which is basically just tabulating how much money they were making off of the content and the traffic. That's not a lot of work. He felt that he should be paid 50% of everything, even though Steve was doing all of the work. So that's what he's talking about. In this case, CRP was the loser. And no, his cousin didn't take money from him. He was loaned money from his cousin. CRP lies about this.
Right. You do not go into business with anyone, and you do not lend somebody money who has gone into a partnership with anyone. Right? That is doomed to fail. That's like having sex with a girl who has herpes and she says, "Well, I'm not in an outbreak now. Hit me without a condom." Right? That's the dice you're rolling right there. So that is the rules that if you are going to lend to somebody, if what you have to do to hedge your bets. But God Almighty, don't lend anyone money. Now, the fallout of this with Coach Red Pill is what is typical of your average human scumbags. And most humans are scumbags. I'm going to talk about the statistics of this later. The fact that Coach Red Pill dared to request his money back, not to mention a modicum of interest to compensate him for all this harassing and haranguing, hunting this guy down. The family, upon that, was appalled. He was somewhat ostracized.
Yeah, because what actually happened is once he paid the loan back to the cousin, He said that he wanted $35,000 back from the cousin because he had to go the extra mile and get a loan shark to go after the money because Coach was such a pussy that he lacked the ability to actually follow through on getting the money back. And his family were so disgusted with him that he's been completely ostracized by his entire family. He leaves that out when he's giving people investment advice, though.
From this part of the family, because he dared to request a family member pay him back his money. And this is where humans start to show their evil side. Humans, I don't care if they're family or friends or not, most humans are scumbags. In this particular case, the borrower knew damn well what he was doing. And because it's proven at the end of the story, and the best part of the story is where he tells, he consults a lawyer and says, how do I get my money back? He says, we can't do it legally because you don't have a contract, won't work in the legal system. But you could sell your loan to somebody who is not a nice guy, who will go and get the money back through unconventional methods. And all Coach Red Pill had to do was say, pay me or I'm selling the loan. And then his scumbag cousin knew exactly what that meant. Because I surmise, I don't know if Coach Red Pill has gotten street smart enough since then, this guy knew exactly what he was doing the entire time. And this is what most people who borrow money on an individual basis, who never pay you back, they know consciously very well what they're doing. They're scum. They're thieves. They're parasites. And you are an easy mark, and they're just going to keep on delay. And they usually have borrowed from other people, and then borrow from Rob to pay Steve, and then borrow from Steve to pay Bill, and then borrow from Bill to pay Mike. They are dumb, incredibly dumb, thinking that they can keep doing this. And again, I'm going back to Clary's universal theory of laziness. It's all laziness that describes this. People don't want to work, and there's a short-term temporary solution to borrow from a naive young Coach Red Pill. Oh, I got all this money. I think he even said that the money, no. Coach Red Pill found out the finances of this douchebag. And this guy was living at home rent-free, and with his mom, and his mom sold a piece of property for life. So he had the money at any point in time. He just probably either pissed it away, or sometimes I would have put past these people to be complete dicks and get off on stretching along Mr. Nice Guy. Probably had a hate boner for Coach Red Pill.
And that's how much of a savvy advisor Mr. Coach Red Pill is. He got led along like a retard with a carrot and a stick that's attached to a plunger that's stuck to his head, and he got played. And this is the same guy that talks about what a savvy investor he is. He got played, and he had to get bailed out by a loan shark, and then he had the balls to demand the money back. So let's go back to listening to him cry his eyes out about how it's unfair that people are laughing at him.
Their shit show. Just not interested. Okay? Insofar as Gator and Zidane are concerned, just to be really clear, those two guys have been nothing.
Literally nothing has changed. I've been talking for 20 minutes, and he's still saying the same thing over and over again.
I said this privately, but I don't have a problem saying it
publicly.
What a
fucking spurg.
I said to them both by private DM that if because of their position, having a continuing relationship with me would make their life very difficult, no hard feelings on my side. I completely understand.
Dude, you are such a fucking crybaby, Coach.
Nothing but the best. I've had the opportunity to talk to Ethan Ralph's wife, rather.
Ethan
Nora,
Wife's.
A lovely woman. I wish her nothing but the best.
Ethan Wife's.
A lot of people have, laughed about the fact, Ethan was a bad boy in Knoxville. I can say this, hand to heart, and I'll say it because if it weren't true, I'd tell the truth. He didn't fuck around, not once. And I was there most of the time, and if he had at some opportunity, I would have heard about it because there were no secrets in that fucking house, right? No, not once.
Let's put him back on mute. He's going to just keep going on and on and on. So he doesn't lie, right, guys? He doesn't lie at all, according to him. He never lies. Okay. Let's hear some lying. Let's go back to, let's check this time. 30-20. Okay, let's hear some Coach Red Pill lies.
Yeah.
And not to be an asshole, it was a small business deal. It was a project. It was a flyer, and if it worked, great. And if it didn't work, it worked fine. Because I'm an investor. I've been an investor since, 97. I invest in different businesses. Okay, that's how I earn my living. Okay, I do other stuff for fun. The YouTube stuff, I'm doing it for fun. But anyway, the point I I want to emphasize is that this whole
Now, over the course of the next 10 minutes, you are going to watch Coach very quickly struggle to get himself out of a lie. And it is very hilarious because he has no recovery from this. And for some reason, Wrongful Bishop did not go after him when he had him completely caught. And it's hilarious.
Sorry, did it
yeah,
mute?
Set this up.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I can say this definitively. Okay, and the clue is using my first name at my name.com.
So Wrongful Bishop calls him out about this website that's set up in his name at this point in time. And he's like, why is this set up in your name? Why is this whole thing established with your full legal name? Why is everything tying back to your YouTube account? Why does none of this add up? And here's the best part. He gets caught lying about everything, and wait till you hear this man just try to bullshit people. It is hilarious how he tries to lie.
I never do that, ever. I use my initials.
Oh,
and
so
for no big reason other than because it's quicker, you know?
I mean, it looks like you use whoever wrote this used the initials at the end of the description.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you hear how Coach just said, I always use my initials for everything that I work with? Well, Wrongful Bishop caught him because at the end of the website, it uses Coach's initials, just like Coach just admitted. Now, watch CRP immediately try to roll away from this lie. It's very impressive the way that he does this.
It says thank you and then like your initials.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now that this isn't mine.
It's not mine.
You may be the victim of identity theft then.
Yeah, I don't know who set this up, but I can say, I'm because I just don't use I have multiple emails for various things, right?
Yeah, this is what happens when somebody gets caught in a lie. Also, when people called him out about the Steve Keen thing, he said that all of his documents, as well as all of his business stuff, was in a safe in storage in Chile. So, let's just continue this.
And I always use GL at whatever because it's just easier and quicker. I never use my first name.
Just to clarify and make sure, in this very sense, we're clear that this is probably nothing to do with, Crowd and T's camp, since the account started in December 99.
Well, it would be no trick at all to just switch the names around and change it because it's just a series of letters here. It's not it would be no trick at all. And that airplane, you're seeing the airplane now. I use it all the time because for some reason, when I do live streams, it uses that avatar.
Apparently, Coach is ending his stream. Let's hear what he's saying.
So, chat, with that, I'm done. I don't know when or if I'll have another shit stream.
Let's
if I do,
let's go
I'll
back
be,
2 minutes.
Sure
We'll go back. Let's go back 3
And,
minutes
yeah.
since he wanted a third.
Game Boy chat, I don't know what even that Game Boy chat is. I have no idea what you're talking about. If he wants on to ask me anything, sure. Let me just check if this is true. I don't think it's true. I don't see him there in the participants log, so I'm guessing that that's bullshit. Anybody, reputable is free to. Actually, I don't know if they can DM me because I have protected thing. But if somebody wants to get in touch with me, they can do so.
I'm sure they really do, Coach. I'm sure you're just.
Or hop on the stream.
I'm sure you're just an amazing person. Not a single fucking person is asking to join. I'll just sit here and casually brush my beard.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Beta.
Beta.
What chat? You think that you're gonna goad me into changing my mind? Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, look at him turning on his
Andy's
chat.
goons, Andy's tards.
Beta.
Get 3P on? No, I'm not up for having to wrangle 3P. I mean, he's fun in small doses, but right now I'm not up for it. I got a lot of shit to do, to tell you the truth. CRP Donga, fine. Pussy, what a boomer, beta.
Beta.
CRP, okay, CRP loses the
Pussy, beta.
No, I'm not gonna have that retard
Coach
on.
Beta Pill.
Open the door to one of your viewers, coward.
Beta.
No, I don't have to. See, you guys don't get it. See, that kind of attitude of like, do it, you're a coward if you don't, blah blah.
You guys
no,
don't get
that's schoolyard bullshit. I'm 51 fucking years old. I control my environment. I allow in whom I want to. You guys have to learn that. That's part of growing up. That's part of being an adult. You control who you allow into your environment.
Part of being an adult is being a pussy on the internet.
These two individuals. It was my mistake. I made another mistake. Shit, not the first one, and certainly not going to be the last one. But you guys like going on and on like beta and coward and stuff like that.
Beta.
I thought the world of Ethan Ralph, and now I see what he is. Okay, he's a dick-riding alcoholic.
Beta
coward.
male.
That's what he is.
And you are a failed writer who is 51 and has never accomplished a single thing in your life. You're a beta male. So let's go on to hear CRP lie some more. I think you guys deserve to see what a goddamn liar CRP is. Thanks for the salmon.
Of the airplane. But yeah.
we can actually like make sure, like ensure of this real quick. Actually, we can just look it up on the Wayback Machine. See if this, because the link will always be the same, right?
I don't know, because I honest to God, I have no memory of ever having done this. Okay? And I can tell you, I mean, it's just...
I have no memory of ever doing this. Thanks for the banana. Thanks for the other thing, the jewels tray. I think I have stickers on. Yeah, they should be on. So let's just continue to hear Coach fumble and fuck over his boring ass story. Thanks for the crown.
Because that's the thing, I have my my name .com. I own it, okay, but it's just inactive. I don't pay attention to it, okay, and I'm telling you, I've never. And I'm going through, as we've been talking, I've been going through every single one of my accounts to access this, and I don't seem able to.
Huh. That's
okay.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I just find it far-fetched.
Well, I don't know, but I can say that the thing that jumps out at me is.
Now here is the funniest part of this story, because he said that the website wasn't his, but then he admitted that it was. He said that he signs everything that he has with his initials, yet at the very end of the fucking thing, it was signed with his initials. And he keeps getting caught in a lie. And rather than just say, okay, that's my site, he continues to fucking lie. So let's listen to him. Here's where he starts to do a classic mistake when you're a liar. The classic mistake when you're a liar is that you try to remember exact specifics that no one will ever remember. Like, I got off of the train at 8:15, and then I went upstairs, I went to get food, and by the time I got home, it was 9:43. And then they're like, okay, well, the person that got killed died at 9:38. It's like, you would never pick that random time, but it's always exactly close to when you knew you committed the crime. And that's what he's doing here. See, he knows he's lying. So here's where he starts to deliver dates. And you'll see quickly that the dates change.
The email address. I just don't. I just don't do that. I don't.
I mean, at the very least, it
what
should portend to, make sure that this site is down. But
Silence. He's trying to reach into the ether for an excuse.
I can't really say one way or the other if this is true. This is whoever did this is fucked up, but at the same time,
No, it would be very fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out, because I'm going through all of the accounts, the Gmail accounts, because you can only use a Gmail account for YouTube, right?
Yeah, or I think you need a Gmail manage account. So if Gmail is the one that manages your mail server, I think you can use that for YouTube.
I'm trying to. I'm like I said, I'm going through every single Gmail account that I have. I have a list. And they're innocuous. Like, for instance, I have one that is for YouTube for videos of my children. So that way, the only videos that appear are kitty stuff, like Lucas the Spider, shit like.
Right here, at this point in time, is where you catch Coach in a lie. Because he says that I have a YouTube channel for my kids. He has 2 children out of wedlock. They're 2 different women, and one of them doesn't live in the Ukraine. So why does he have a YouTube channel for both kids when he doesn't have the 2 kids with the same woman? So here he is lying again.
That. So I'm trying to see. No, I'm telling you right now that I just don't. Hang on, it's that I have all of these. Wait, I did that one.
Now you hear this right now? It's a man struggling with reality because he knows that he's full of shit. He knows that he can't get his way out of this lie, so he's trying to stall for time.
I mean, from what I keep looking at it, the account only has 2 liked videos. It has Snowboarder's Unbelievable Tiny House and hashtag Make Great Britain Again by Sargon of a Cat. And it seems to have been liked around the same time they were posted.
Do you hear that absolute silence? And people are saying that Dispatch's account is memorialized, but I just checked his account. Here, I'll check it live again. His account is not memorialized. I'll even pull this up. See, it's not memorialized. Guys really need to stop listening to fucking Nine Farms, because like usual, Josh can never get anything right. Let's get back to Coach. Just listen to the silence. CRP has nothing at this point. He is caught lying.
Very bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can reach out to YouTube and have them fix this somehow, or is there any way to prevent somebody from
he's like a guy that got caught lying. You can't believe a goddamn thing that fucking Coach says. His entire response to that was very bizarre.
what you call it, from pretending to be you.
Oh, yeah, you can. It's actually pretty easy with YouTube. You can just send a takedown notice and say that they are, impersonating you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. It's actually like they make it so that like anyone can fill those out. Like YouTube's one of the easiest websites to send a takedown form. Alibaba is actually very easy, but funnily enough, eBay is complete hell.
I have no idea. I'm
fuck, you caught me. When have you ever heard Coach this ineloquent? This absolutely, like, he's literally like Andy Worski, who he likes to mock for his stutter. Yet you hear Coach just stammering over his words. Just,
I've never had a need to do such a thing, but this is exceedingly interesting.
Yes, it's exceedingly interesting that somebody made a YouTube account and a website in your name that did all of the things and all of the idiosyncrasies that you said you throw on to your brand, like signing things with your initials, using your real name, saying that you don't own the website that's your whole name, but then 10 minutes later saying you did. And then what? I'm supposed to believe that you're going to tell me that Andy cheated on Sinead, and that he got a blowjob and he fucked a porker? I mean, come on, this is about as believable as you telling me that you saved Ralph from getting in trouble because Ralph was blackout drunk and somebody banged against the wall of the house. So Ralph walked out drunk and tired and half asleep to cross the street to yell at some people at a bar or something, and a cop came by and you somehow pulled him out, even though Ralph is like, there's no way that you pulled Ralph, and then you're telling me that you somehow drug him up the stairs, like Ralph, who is drunk and inebriated and belligerent at this point. You yourself, a 51-year-old boomer, were able to pull Ralph up the stairs by yourself while Ralph was drunk and completely belligerent and screaming, and he didn't fight you at all? And then in the exact same turn, you're going to claim that earlier in the night that Andy came home drunk and he attacked Ralph, and the two of them were drunk and they fought in the living room, even though they were just play wrestling? See how you always take something that has 10% truth and you twist it? You're a faggot, Coach. You lie about everything. They get into a play fight and you somehow turn it into they were fist fighting. It's got action, it's got a wonderful story, it's got sex. It's like every goddamn story you tell is the same fucking thing. Kind of like how you're pitching Wilshire Boulevard, even though it's just your shitty fucking movie from Chile that we watched earlier. Which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, that whole story that he's writing, Wilshire Boulevard, it's literally a repeat of a movie that he wrote years ago. I can actually go get it. Somebody sent it to me earlier, and I laughed my ass off when I watched it. Here's Coach Red Pill's movie. So let's pull this up.
Si esto es un secuestro express, esto se va a resolver relativamente rápido.
Secuestraron a Catalina.
¿Quién querría hacer algo así?
So in this movie, Catalina, who is a billionaire's daughter, gets kidnapped in a major city in Chile. And she's kidnapped by a bunch of guys who don't really know what they're doing. And it's got craziness, it's got sex, it's got action, and it's gonna come together with a major blow that's gonna happen on the streets of Chile. And it's gonna be really great and explosive.
Dímelo tú o tal vez algún amiguito de ella. La clase de gente que se mete tu hija.
La vida de su hija vale $500.000. Billetes no secuenciales de $100 en montones de 10.000.
Está bonita la niña. ¿No voy a sacar la pistola? ¿Ah? ¿Sí? ¿Qué es lo que le puedo hacer a la niñita? Mira, tengo un juguetito, ¿ah? Tengo un juguetito. Eso, ¿ah?
Si mi única hija está viva, esta noche la están violando.
Paquilleros, tenemos visor del cerro, indiquen sus posiciones.
Yo me voy a encargar de solucionar el problema que nos trajo Catalina.
¿Dónde está mi hija?
En su celular recibe una llamada de los secuestradores.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Te volviste loco? Sí.
¿Aló, papá?
So that's Sequestro. Doesn't it look familiar, guys? Doesn't this story look familiar? Oh, wait. I know why it looks familiar, guys.
So I wrote a novel called Wilshire Boulevard. It's a thriller. It's about the daughter of this billionaire. And she gets kidnapped by a bunch of guys who do not know what the hell they are doing. And so the kidnappers, the police, the media, and the family of the billionaire, they all crash and collide against one another on the streets of Los Angeles. The book's got it all. It's got sex, it's got action, it's got memorable characters, and best of all, as far as I'm concerned, as the writer of it, it's got a dynamite ending. The endings are always...
Yeah, it's the same goddamn movie. You just changed LA out with... You just changed out fucking Chile with America. You made the characters white, and then you fucking put it in downtown LA. You're retarded. You're not original. You're not amazing. You're a fucking hack. So let's continue to listen to Coach bullshit, people. At this point, he's caught. He's completely caught lying about the website. He's caught lying about the YouTube account, where he was basically sucking Sargon's cock in this YouTube account. And he claims that his identity was stolen.
Yes, I would say so. If this is correct, then you are the victim of identity theft.
Because I can tell you right now that on December 9th, 2016,
Now here is another mistake. When you lie, you never give specifics, because when you're telling the truth, you will not remember ancillary details like I was this place exactly on December 6th, 2016. Now watch how quickly his story changes.
I was in Ukraine. I was yeah, I just arrived to Ukraine for a holiday.
So now he says he's on a holiday, and he just arrived. It was like the 9th of December, actually. He just arrived on a holiday on December 9th, and somehow this ties into the creation of this YouTube channel. And then here's where it changes again.
And actually, a couple of days after that,
actually a couple of days after that. Now watch it change again.
I arrived in Ukraine a few days earlier.
Actually, I arrived a few days earlier than December 9th.
Like in late November?
Like in late November. Well, I got news for you. In late November to December 19th, that's a large gap. Like, let's go ahead and we'll try to see what is, normal to Coach Red Pill. So we'll say that he landed on, we'll do 2019. We'll say that he landed on Monday, December 9th. And we'll say that, he said late November. So we'll do the 28th. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12 days. That's almost 2 weeks. That's not a few days. I think he forgot that he said December 9th. So now it's gone from I couldn't have made this account because exactly on December 9th, it was the day that I just landed in the Ukraine for vacation. Then it was actually I arrived a few days early, but actually I arrived in late November. This is how quickly his story has changed. I can go back and play it for you again. We'll go back to the 10th. You can listen to him play it again.
Yeah, I just arrived to Ukraine for a holiday. And actually, a couple of days after that, I arrived in Ukraine a few days earlier, like in late November.
Well, I got news for you. There's a large amount of days between the 9th of December and late November. You didn't arrive a few days early. You're full of shit, Coach. You can't even figure out what week you arrived in the Ukraine.
And then a couple of days after that, like the 11th or the 12th?
They were accounts that were tied to a thing that was like there was some kind of website that he was running some kind of scam off of or something, and they called him out on this, and he denied that he had any involvement with it. But then they found out that the email that was tied to it was tied to some kind of fucking YouTube account that was also tied to Coach's YouTube accounts, and for some reason they follow everything that Coach follows, and they post on everything that Coach posts on, but he says it's not his. So he gets caught in a line. He's like, oh, it couldn't have been mine because the email on the Google account was made at this date. So specifically, I was not here. I was in the Ukraine on the 9th of December. Actually, I arrived there on holiday. Actually, I was there in late November. He can't even fucking come up with a coherent story.
I traveled to Central Europe for a couple of weeks, a skiing holiday. So yeah, I was doing other things. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean,
now he's on a skiing holiday. Who the fuck goes skiing in the Ukraine? Let's see if there's any skiing tourism the Ukraine. Let's see. So there's a ski resort in Bukovel. I wonder if Coach could make it there. Do you think he went there on a llama? Or on Falcor from the Neverending Story? I also heard the UFO come in. I think that was trying to beam him back to the mothership, because he's clearly on the wrong planet if he thinks we're ever going to believe him.
I could just as easily have set this up from Ukraine or wherever. That is a very, very bizarre thing. I'm looking at the channels.
I'm looking at the channels.
Wow, that's really interesting. All of these channels are channels that I am currently subscribed to.
Oh my god, that's so strange. There's an account that's tied to an email. It's tied to a website that I already admitted was mine. Oh, wow, that's so strange. All of the accounts that I'm subscribed to, all of the channels, this account is subscribed to it too. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Except Vexed. I don't know what Vexed is. Wow, that's really well. And Daryl E. Oh, I've seen this fat guy. I don't know if I'm subscribed to him or not. Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen this channel in my life. That's so strange. This doesn't add up. Oh, okay, actually, wow. Oh, wow, I have seen this guy. Wow, that's strange. I don't know if I'm actually subscribed to him now. So now you can't even tell who you're subscribed to on channels anymore. This is how full of shit Coach Red Pill is.
I could very well be. And Engineered Truth, yeah, I follow him closely. Vexed. Trap Nation exposed, hacking, DDoSing, spreading malware on YouTube.
I think he's one of those that like exposes the like bad stuff other YouTubers do.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I don't have any opinion about this. I think it's very, very bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah, you think it's very bizarre because you got caught in a lie, Coach, and you're trying very hard to paddle yourself out of that puddle of shit that you accidentally stepped in. So now you're trying to lie your eyes out. You have so much shit that's inside of your body right now because you're that full of shit that it's coming out of your eyes. And you're trying very hard to dissuade the wrongful bishop from coming after you about this story because you're lying. Everything's a coincidence, yet every time he catches you in a lie because you're so stupid, you leak details that can be traced back to your original lie, that you start to pause and you do these deep breaths. You probably stroke your Joaquin Phoenix troll phase beard and you say shit like, "Oh, that's bizarre. Oh, that's strange. Oh, that's very interesting. What a coincidence. That is just so strange."
I think it's definitely in order to kind of get to the bottom of this, because it's if what you're saying is true and someone stole your identity, you know, within this time frame, it's
no, because the thing is, see, it's no trick at all to take a website, a YouTube channel, and to change it into something completely different. You know, you can change the name of it. You can change everything. I don't think that anything remains fixed insofar as a channel is concerned.
Unfortunately for Coach, because he can't seem to make his channel interesting. I literally muted him and talked for almost 40 minutes, and I came back and he had said nothing. He was just repeating himself 40 minutes later.
Not even the number of it, because that can be changed. You know, it can be changed into a name, and then from a name back into random letterings. You know, within
at
a certain
the very least,
time.
the numbering is the link
fixed.
Is fixed. Yeah. So it's
and it doesn't have any videos, right?
No sent videos look like. Just join date.
And actually, I didn't start making videos. I did a test run of videos in late January of 2017.
Now, here's where he gets caught in a lie again. I did a test run of videos in late January, early February 2017. As you can clearly see, that is when I did this. That is just a pickle. Except, you know, you didn't, Coach. You started it in March. You can remember exact dates that you were in the Ukraine, but yet you can't remember when you started your YouTube channel. That is a common mistake amongst liars. You can't remember specifics when you need to, but you fuck up by focusing on specifics of things you don't need to know about.
And that's when I started in late January until like mid-February of 2017.
Yet his channel wasn't even made until March. And again, it's not adding up. And I went back and I checked all of his additional channels that he had connected to it, and they were all started in March too. Just stop lying. It's just so bizarre.
I did like a test, like some videos that like a test run, and I was thinking of doing my own website, but then it just seemed sort of stupid because I'd be like isolated and not have anybody else.
It just seems so dumb, It's like I was thinking about starting a website and I had a channel that I ran a test run on, and it happened before I made my main channel, and then somehow it's connected to an email that's connected back to me, and everything that I said I do to make sure that people know it's really me is actually on the website, but yet I claim I didn't know about it, and then suddenly it's disconnected, but somebody found the connection, and it's just so bizarre. How would people know this?
Comment on it or anything, so it made sense to join YouTube. And I joined YouTube. Let me see. When did I join YouTube?
I mean, can you tell that?
March 13th of 2017.
So this Coach Red Pill name, did you come up with it before or after the date of creation of the channel?
At the time of the creation of the channel.
At around the same time of the creation of the channel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of my the one that has 16,500 subscribers.
Oh, around 2017.
What?
So you didn't even know about Coach Red Pill, or even like it was in the gleam of your eye by the.
No, because what happened was that I did a run of test videos. Like I said, they were just for myself. In 2000, between January and February of 2017, because I only bought my first camera, in January of 2017. Actually, I can tell you exactly when I bought it. I bought it January 2nd or 3rd, perhaps, of 2017. Because I was I spent the New Year's in London, and a couple of days after New Year's, I went camera shopping. And I bought my my camera then, and so I started doing these test videos in January, February, because I've been thinking about it for a while. Because in 2016, I've been watching videos, and I thought to myself, yeah, I can do that. I directed movies, and produced. Well, actually, I directed just a couple of movies. And I produced a lot more. Executive produced, basically financed.
No, I'm going to just rewind that for a second so you guys can hear him say this again. And then I'm going to pull something up on screen as he says it.
Doing these test videos in January, February, because I've been thinking about it for a while. Because in 2016, I've been watching videos. And I thought to myself, yeah, I can do that. I directed movies, and produced. Well, actually, I directed just a couple of movies, and I produced a lot more. Executive produced, basically financed. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting, kind of weird.
Yeah, I would.
He executive produced multiple movies. He did a lot of movies, but yet there's only one on his record. And the only other thing that he was on besides the Ralph retort was he was a story consultant for a shitty game that was released on PS2. But yet he claims that he financed multiple movies. He's a fucking liar. And you know what else is funny is Coach claimed that he never threatened Kraut. When I said that he had come to me and told me that he had proof that Kraut had raped a girl, or he said that he had hit these girls up and these girls had come to him and said that Kraut raped them and that his mother covered it up. This is what he originally told me. And he let me hear some woman tell a story, and it didn't sound believable, but I was just like, whatever, I'll talk about it. And I was like, all right, so where is the information? Where are the recordings, Coach? You know what he did after that? He disappeared for like 5 months. Because he didn't actually have anything. Just like how he told us tonight that he was going to expose Ethan Ralph, and his whole exposure was Ralph was blackout drunk in this situation that nobody besides me can vouch for happening. Dick can't say that it happened. Andy can't say that it happened. Ralph can't say that it happened. But we're supposed to believe that a 51-year-old boomer was somehow able to drag a drunk, belligerent Ralph up the stairs and stop him from making an ass of himself in front of a cop, in front of a club that was apparently across the street. And I'm supposed to believe this? Press an X to doubt. But when this happened, you guys are going to see a completely different side of Coach after you hear this recording, because Coach has this thing where he likes to threaten people, but he never delivers on it. So just listen to how cocky Coach sounds. I'm gonna pull him back to, I'll go back to like maybe I'll go to 135, and you'll listen to how cocky Coach is.
It's going to be a shitload of money. Look, I did this fucking pathetic deal. What was it, 25 grand? Okay, and you have no idea how much I regret it, because it was a trivial sum of money. Okay, I thought it would be fun.
It was a trivial sum of money for that $25,000 that he owed his cousin, that he stressed out about and still cries about 4 years later. But it was a trivial amount of money. He couldn't have just paid his cousin back. No, he had to, act like an asshole, sell the loan to a loan shark, and hope that the loan shark could recoup the money from Steve Keen, because he was too much of a pussy to go out and get it himself.
I thought it would be fun, and I thought it would be interesting, and potentially the start of a lucrative and interesting business. Okay?
All right.
I wish I'd never done it, because it was just a fucking flyer. Do you know how many flyers I do a year? I do maybe a dozen a year. Okay? In the $10,000 to $50,000 range. Because you never know. Something might happen, something might pop, and it becomes a thing.
He does $10,000 to almost $50,000 in investments in random businesses a year, but yet he's spurging out about fucking 1/3 of $5,000 on an Indiegogo. I turned the volume down, gang.
Right? And of course, when you do a flyer, you expect that most of them are going to fail, because that's the way it works, right? This is one that failed. It was a trivial one. And I got all this shit, and it smeared me, and it all kinds of problems, okay? And my problems aren't over with this situation, because I have another big legal issue that's going to be popping up, a legal issue that I'm moving forward, that I'm not going to discuss it with you, but the fact of the matter is, see, for me, this shit isn't over. Okay, because the people who smeared me, they're not gonna. Some of them, like Kraut, like the Guardian, like that King of Pole, they were so fucking lucky that they were able to walk away from this whole thing unscathed.
Yeah, you can hear the anger in his voice. They're so fucking lucky. I would have wiped them the fuck out with my legal issues.
And I find that incredibly unfair, but life is unfair, right? But some others who publicly said shit about me, they're not going to walk away unscathed, okay? And I'm in the middle.
Well, I said shit about you, Coach. You ain't going to do anything to me, because you're a pussy, and you're a boomer, and you live in the Ukraine, and you can't do anything about it, because you're a pussy. Your name is Gonzalo Lira, and you're a failure as a writer. You're a failure as a man, and you're a failure as a producer of original and engaging content. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do to take me away from saying that. I can say it as much as I want, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. Because the last time I checked, you're too old to climb up Mount Olympus and come at me. And there's absolutely nothing you can do, because you're a beta male. Beta. Coach Beta Pill. And you're a bitch.
Suing people. Is that correct?
Have I said that? And if you say that, I'll say that
I won't
you're a
say
liar.
that. I won't say that. I'm clarifying this
Because
because I want to make sure that
I've never said that I am, carrying. I've never said the words that you say that I'm saying. So you better be careful that you're not saying what.
I won't say that. You clarified to me. I would be lying if I were to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
By the way, it starts echoing here because Coach Boomer Pill doesn't know how to manage his audio.
Now, because I'm very precise with my language, okay, and I know when I say things, and I know when I keep my counsel, okay. Have I said anything like that? No. Have I threatened anybody with any kind of untoward or illegal thing? Certainly not. I'd never do such a thing. Okay.
But you can see how I could make that assumption when you say that people were lucky to not be within the purview of lawsuit.
Yeah, I can say it. I can say it
won't
outright.
be so lucky that other people aren't so lucky.
Yeah.
And so,
Some other people
if it's not a lawsuit, then what kind of, what does that mean?
What does that mean? No, I have neither confirmed nor denied anything that you have said, insofar as this is concerned. The point I'm trying to make is that Trout got lucky once. He's not going to get lucky a second time. I'm trying to be a good sport with the son of a bitch, right? I think he's scum, right? I think he's talented. I think he's a smart kid. I think he's morally despicable, okay? If he sticks his nose around here again, he's not going to be as lucky as he was the first time.
Oh, I'm so scared. He's not going to be lucky.
Okay. That's
because the thing is, see, there are a lot of people who really want to see him humiliated. Not just a little bit, but a lot. Okay? And a lot of people, you know the expression sangre en el ojo?
Yep.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who, me for one, I made fun of the guy, and the guy spread a bunch of bullshit about me. Okay? I mean, just how would you like it if you made fun of me, you say, oh, coach does his coach clapping thing or something like that, right? And I started spreading shit about you. Oh, Wrong Bishop was, he was a lawyer.
Oh, you mean kind of like how you said that Andy cheated on his girlfriend and fucked a porker in Knoxville? Kind of like that? Or, I don't know. What else could we talk about? Oh, maybe we could talk about when you told that lie that you posted and then tried to deny that you said. Oh, should we pull that up? Let's pull up that one lie that he said the other day. Here we go.
Yeah, so anyway, we're talking about the whole, it was quite a night. A lot of us had a good time. We won't mention who, because some of us have spouses.
No, just about. I didn't do shit. We're going to sleep.
Well, no, yeah. I can say unequivocally. I can say unequivocally that
Coach, that's horseshit.
Look at Ralph. He's about to have a fucking heart attack because Coach wants to be an asshole and infer that Ralph cheated on his wife. You can see how upset he is. Which I don't blame him, because Coach is an asshole for saying that. That ain't cool. That's messed up. And I know that the only reason that Coach is going so hard at Ralph and going so hard at Andy is because he's got a little mentally retarded boy in the Ukraine whispering in his ear. And he's saying shit like, I sacrificed for my community. I would have made a streaming site for you, Ralph. Ooh, pay attention to me. I would have left the Ukraine for you, Ralph. Ooh. Focus on me. Give me attention. Don't you know I run the farms? Stop cucking the Zoom. Ooh. Because that's all he's been doing for the past few weeks as he just slowly fades back into, non-relevancy and getting made fun of all day on HN. It's, oh, why can't I be brought on the kill stream? What am I doing? Coach, don't work with them. You should only work with me. I'm in the Ukraine with you. You can trust me. Ooh. I wish somebody would want me to be famous. Ugh.
That this man was like a saint. Okay.
I love my wife. I miss her. I'll see you soon.
You can see right there from the sternness in Ralph's eyes that he is just pissed. And this is something that Coach Red Pill thinks is funny. So then he goes and says shit tonight like, I'm going to expose Ralph. And of course, everybody immediately says, oh, well, Ralph must have cheated on Nora. I bet that's what really happened. Oh man, I bet the gun is going to get got. And I can say that from what I've heard from multiple sources, I've heard two stories. One of them was that Ralph had um a rendezvous with Bad Tits and had sex with her in Knoxville. Personally, I don't believe that story. I think it's just bullshit nonsense that got milled out from 9 farms and somehow ended up on 8chan and people believed it. I don't think that Ralph would fuck Bad Tits. I can't even stand her in a chat room. I don't know how the fuck he could stand her in real life, let alone stand her long enough to put his dick in her and throw that gun on her back. I would hope to God that he smothered her with it so that we don't have to deal with her boring ass chats all day. So I don't believe with that story. And then another story I heard was about some mod that was one of the mods in JF's chat, and apparently he asked for some kind of weekend retreat with her and to keep it hush hush from his wife. But I don't believe that story either. And I've told this to Ralph and I've told this to Andy. I don't believe either story. I mean, if somebody can show me the truth, you know, I'm an ardent advocate for the truth, and I would of course let Ralph know ahead of time if somebody gave me proof of something like that so that he could properly prepare. But I don't believe either story because I haven't been given, you know, concrete proof of it even being real. And until I see that, I'm not gonna say that it's real definitively. I can't. That's disingenuous. So I'm not going to be disingenuous to my audience because that's what Coach Red Pill does. That isn't what I do. I simply present the facts and what I've seen and what I've heard. And if they can actually prove these facts, then I give you guys proof in the form of recordings or screenshots or things like that. And I let you guys decide what's real and what isn't. And that's about it. So, you know, when people tell me shit like, you know, Ralph met Bad Tits and had sex with her, I want to say, okay, show me the fucking proof. You know, show me that he actually met her, that they went somewhere alone. Show me some kind of damning evidence of that. And if you can't show me the evidence of that, then I'm not going to believe it. Now, when I hear, oh, well, Ralph was jealous because JF called a certain mod on JF's chat hot, and he was messaging her being like, what the fuck? And then asking her to meet him for a weekend retreat and have sex with him. I don't believe that either because, again, I don't have DMs, I don't have screenshots, and even if somebody gave me DMs, the first thing I would say was, give me the password to your account, change it to something else, I'll show it live on screen so people can see that it's real, and if you can't do that, then I don't believe you. And that's how I am. I don't make promises like, oh, I'm going to expose somebody, and then I spend 65 minutes saying the same thing 10 times like Coach just did. So let's continue to listen to Coach tell everybody about how he's going to take down Kraut and how Kraut knows that he's the king dick in town.
But he got, I don't know, disbarred, or you know, they found out that he had stolen money from a client or some shit like that, right? How would you feel about that? Would you like it?
I mean, if you made that up, that would literally be slander.
Right.
if somebody else said shit about you, that it's not so simple. Okay, how would you feel? You know, because I'm sure that you're a grown man. You've been in business disputes with former partners. You've had problems with employers, what have you. What if I started smearing stuff around and phrasing it in ways and putting it in ways anonymously by third parties that make you look bad? And that the only reason that they're putting it out there is to make you look bad. How would you feel about that? Would
Well,
you
I
like
would be
it?
angry at the person who made it the most, and I would try to correct the record with the person who's spreading it.
I corrected the record. Okay, I corrected the record. I went on 3 hours with JFKDP. I know you don't like him, but he went through every single item of the accusations against me, and they're all bullshit. From the serious ones, like the Steve Keen thing, to the trivial ones, like these fucking assholes said that I identified myself as a male feminist, which is just so much bullshit. Okay, because I was on some board that when you put like one post or between 0 posts and I think it was 50 posts in this forum, you were labeled a male feminist. And then from 51 posts to say, I don't know, I think it was like 100 or 200, you were a chubby chaser. And then from 201 to 500, you were a wingman. And then 501 posts and up, you were an alpha male. It was a joke, right? But these guys, went around saying that I called myself a male feminist, man, right? What is that if not trying to maliciously smear somebody?
Coach, you are a 51-year-old man and you are crying to Wrongful Bishop in a private Google Hangout about people calling you a male feminist. You are such a fucking crybaby. By the way, did you guys see the cool new TRR intro? Somebody just sent me this on Discord, so I'm going to pull it up on screen. This is the new advertisement for the Ralph retort, apparently. What do you guys think? Apparently, this is going to be the new Ralph retort thing. I don't think it's realistic because it needs the Photoshop was done poorly. Yeah, apparently that's what they're doing. What the fuck was the name of that person, by the way? I forget their name. They were Jabba's advisor. Oh, Bib Fortuna. Apparently I'm Bib Fortuna. I'm just I'm whispering in Ralph's ear and telling him to turn against CRP. Clearly, we'll just
Solo thought che Italia. Kaso yari kui rato kanki ko. We now can banva podo.
And you know what's funny is that little weasel thing that goes. That's Josh. They should have thrown Josh's head right here. It would have been fucking perfect. God, you guys fuck everything up. You just imagine that little tiny. They should have thrown Josh right there. It would have been fucking perfect. Yeah, let's go back to listening to Coach. Scream about how he's being called a feminist on the internet. This is somehow upsetting. I also don't know how I'm isolating Andy and Ralph from anything, considering I talk to Andy maybe once a day, and I talk to Ralph maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know how the hell I'm doing something that I'm not actually doing.
By any means necessary. Do you
Like I
think that
said,
that's a
malice
fault?
requires knowledge, requires
What?
falsity, knowledge of the falsity. Malice requires knowledge of the falsity. And
It was right
there's a lot of
there.
shit here that I would say that I'm going to ask Rod if he knew about this, if they were false, and I'm certain that he will deny it.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, like what am I supposed to do with it? Like I can't really like read his mind. I can't say like whether he's lying or not. I can just like
Well,
draw
you
conclusions
tell your
from
friend Kraut, okay? Because I know that you're friendly with him, okay?
We're in friendly terms, yeah.
Yeah, and you tell him, okay, that that you know something. Tell him to do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to come back, fine, come back. We'll welcome him. You know, it'll
We
be
as
fun.
in like
You're so gracious, host, Coach. It's so wonderful that you, of all people, can just welcome Kraut back. That you, the only person in YouTube, have the ability to tell Kraut he's allowed to come back to the internet. You, a 51-year-old boomer who is a failed author, a failed movie producer, a failed cameraman, who had 2 kids out of wedlock and got stuck with one in the Ukraine, who is constantly sitting in an office that literally just has a bunch of your shit, a couch, a bunch of cameras, and a bunch of tables, and some food and some top ramen, is going to threaten some kid in Austria that's autistic and likes to bitch about race realism. You're going to be the one that tells him, "Hey buddy, you can come back to the internet. I'm going to allow you to." The arrogance in his voice is just laughable. The fact that he thinks he's capable of doing anything other than making
Dispatch
people
here
laugh is hilarious. Thanks for the donation, Ivan. It's just laughable that you think you're some kind of threat to an autist like Kraut. I mean, what does he have to lose? He lives with his mom. His mom's mayor of the town. You're not going to be able to do anything to him. You're just going to look like a retard. So let's listen to Coach show us how amazing he is. How he's going to allow Kraut to come back.
What is
As
this?
in the YouTube community. The YouTube community will embrace him. Yes, absolutely.
The YouTube community will embrace Kraut because Coach Red Pill said so. So, Keemstar, PewDiePie, all of the skeptics, anybody that has ever been involved with the YouTube community, Andy Worski, Tonka, everybody that's ever hated Kraut, even good old Rage After Storm, she's gonna open her arms and she's gonna say, "Come here, Kraut. I want to hug you." Because Coach Red Pill said so. Oh, let's see. Coach Red Pill's post. Okay, well, thank you for that, Fairy Queen. We'll go over that after we finish this this wonderful recording with Coach Boomer Pill.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you tell him that? Tell him that. Forget everything else I said. Tell him that. Tell him to come back. No, to make content again. It'll be fun. We'll all have a good time around the campfire. It'll be so much fun.
So I think that kind of like concludes the conversation unless you have anything else to ask.
No. But it was a pleasure talking to you. And
Same.
yeah, and yeah.
No, I find you a very interesting person. I think that I hope you don't hold it against me to hold the views that I do hold, the same way that I don't hold it against you for you to hold the views that you do hold. Like I
No,
said, to me,
I
it's a
think that
moral imperative.
I think that you're no. Well, actually, I think that moral imperative stuff you should tone it down, because if you're talking about moral imperatives, and you have incontrovertible facts in front of you, then what you're saying, it makes you sound like a hypocrite.
The only facts that I have in front of me of any crowd wrongdoing, I have already called them out on it. If there are other facts that I am
Again, this isn't me. This is Coach Boomer Pill echoing.
not aware of,
Oh, what's your problem with Aiden Paladin? I'm kind of curious.
my problem with Aiden Paladin is that she basically for no reason started attacking me.
And that's kind of weird. Why would you do that?
I think it was after the JF stuff. I remember, and I think she was defending JF, and a lot of people cited my video on why JF, should be, and she kind of went gone against me, and I like I said, I think anyone who defends says that JF is that it's slander to call JF a rapist. It doesn't understand slander and doesn't understand rape.
It's so funny that Wrongful Bishop is calling JF a rapist.
It's very obvious. I'm not. No one should say that he is a convicted rapist, of course, because he's never been convicted. But saying he's a rapist by his own admission is not far. It's not a false statement. Taking his word for
Economic fraud or financial.
Like I said, I think anyone who defends says that JF because he's never been convicted, but saying he's a rapist by his own admission, then that's fine. But I think it's perfectly fair to hold someone to their word.
Mm-hmm. And what about Braving Ruin? You think that he's a fascist?
I think he's a fraud. I don't know if he's a fascist or not.
A fraud?
Yes.
Okay, a fraud that connotes like economic fraud or financial fraud. How would that be? He's selling something that is fraudulent.
He's selling his political views. He sold, not selling, but sold his political views on their false pretense. And to me, it's not legal fraud. I'm not saying that it's legal fraud when I of public interest.
And you had heard one story, and I told you my side of the story. Let me show you.
You can't just assume that he was guilty of that. Anyone that has a gripe
against
you,
you're right.
could make that page. Or maybe you even forget that you made it.
Yeah, exactly. You're exact. Well, I looked through all of my Gmail while we were talking, Gmail accounts while we were talking, and it wasn't attached to any of them. So I'm gonna have to find out how to find out. I'm gonna have to find out how to talk to YouTube so they can find out who did this and pull it down. Okay.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there's a lot of these types of accusations of Kraut must have done it accusations that I believe are.
You're right. Okay, I'll tell you the things that I know for a fact. Okay.
Now, you can see right here that this whole website and everything about how Coach is a scammer, he tries to blame on Kraut. But when he gets called out on his bullshit and it turns out that it looks like he made it and he was scamming people, he can't explain it at all and he starts lying. And now he was just asked flat out, are you lying? You're practically lying about it being Kraut's fault. And he goes, all right, I concede to that. But yet in public, he'll openly say it's always Kraut's fault. And it's like, I don't even know Kraut. I don't really like him. I've talked to him a few times. I think he's annoying. But this dude's full of shit, and he just keeps lying to people.
Okay? Because this has come out. He gathered as much negative information on me as possible, including my name, and he was giddy about finding my name. And the log there, it's the log of the Discord server, the screenshot. What he said in the recordings
I
Okay.
found CRP stocks. He specifically said that. Yes.
Yeah. You know, and he gathered all of that information. He gathered only the negative information, and he passed it along to.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. One sec. I thought I had a sneeze. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So, let's take a look at this debunking. Do some zoom ins. After the saga reported below, Gonzalo Lira failed to pay the web designer to maintain the website. And I reached an amicable agreement with the designer to regain control of the website. That's weird considering that in the recordings, when he's talking to Bishop, he said that he paid for the majority of the website to be designed. So now we're finding out through Steve Keen that our good friend Coach Boomerpill didn't even pay the web designer and they lost access to the website. Which at that point, I wouldn't want to continue the work either. Would you guys honestly want to continue work writing content for a website that could be shut down because Coach Red Pill is too cheap to pay the web designer? Would any of you feel that that's a fair thing to do? I know I wouldn't fucking want to do it. So apparently, Coach Red Pill failed to pay the web designer. He had to pay out of pocket to gain control of the website. He didn't have time to maintain the website, but it's still there. At some stage, it will be redesigned, and he'll support the book once more. He's going to get to the punchline of this page immediately. He's lost control of the subscription website to his so-called partner, Coach Red Pill, and he wants to shut it down. He's unable to do so, and he can advise people to not sign up at the website. When he manages to regain control of it, he will revert to supporting his book, Debunking Economics. About the same time last year, he was seriously considering shutting down his site Debt Watch. The blog had been a fantastic means for him to communicate his warnings about the approaching crisis and to get non-orthodox economic analysis more widespread. But after 6 years, the time it took to maintain it was seriously reducing my capacity to focus on his main concerns. Which again is weird because CRP said earlier in the recording that the guy lost his job. But what it actually was that this guy was self-employed and he didn't have enough time to manage both blogs, so he shut down the other blog. These were no longer a warning of crisis, nor even commenting on it, but on the development of a serious alternative economics. But by 2012, he was spending more time doing effectively clerical work related to the blog than he was to devoting his time to economic research. He had two alternatives. Either he made the blog pay for him so that he could hire somebody to take the load off of him, or he had to shut the blog down. Now that's very strange considering what CRP was originally saying, because his original claim was that he was doing all of the work for the blog. So let's pull that back up, and I have the timestamp where he talks about that actually. And we'll see who's lying, because this guy doesn't seem to have a reason to lie, but Coach Red Pill does. So we're gonna go to we'll go to 20 minutes, and we'll listen to his story.
Those two voices making kind of like, you know, you said and whatever he said. You know, it feels almost like awkward for me. Like I could tell you if what you're saying, everything that you're saying is true. I would say that, you know, you certainly got a raw deal, and it seems like some of your expectations when you enter into this contract were not met. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I also have to understand that there's like someone else that I don't know about that probably has a different story. So I would feel kind of like,
yeah, sure. But the facts are not in dispute. I put up the money, and he promised to put up the content. So those facts are not in dispute. And the fact that I put up $25,000 for this project is also not in dispute. He aired that dirty laundry on Twitter with The Guardian and all those other people. And he has he released email exchanges between us, private ones, confidential ones, business ones, where the amount of my investment is laid out clear, and he does not dispute it. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are certain facts that, unfortunately, Kraut, he sort of like twisted them around. You know what?
It was a paltry amount because his cousin loaned it to him. He didn't actually earn it or have to put it up. The debt was paid by his fucking his cousin. He just lies so much.
It's really interesting. You should look up this individual, this former business associate of mine, and look up his name and look up Kickstarter. And you're going to find some interesting information there if you dig a little bit. You're gonna find out that Steve Keen, and this is undisputed. You can Google it right now. Steve Keen and Kickstarter, and you're gonna find out that he carried out, after I was associated with him, he carried out 2 Kickstarter campaigns that raised in total about $120,000. One raised something like $75,000, $80,000, something around that neighborhood, as I recall, and the other raised something like $35,000. And between those 2 campaigns, he raised that money, and he promised to deliver the people who supported his campaigns, his Kickstarter campaigns, to deliver some sort of economic modeling project. I didn't quite understand what he was selling exactly, but
well, of course you didn't, because you're not an economist. And 75 and 35 is 110 CRP. Jesus Christ, he said he had 120 something thousand.
Apparently there are some people who are awfully upset about their contribution because apparently they didn't get what was promised. But again, don't take my word for it. Go check it out for yourself.
I'm not going to take your word for it.
Like I said, it's almost like, even though the facts are not in dispute, like even with the same exact fact pattern,
and then let's go back to when he was explaining the job, his job on the website. I believe it was 17 something. There we go.
Who put up the money?
To be perfectly honest, I didn't bother to look into like the very specifics of whether you or this individual had.
I put up $25,000. Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So I put up $25,000, and he promised to put content on this website, this paid website, and I financed the design of it and the infrastructure of it and all the rest of it, the accounting and all that. I financed it, and he promised to put up content, right? Yep. And then 2 months after the site opened, and after he had, earned $40,000 or so, because the way it was split was that the gross revenue would be split 50-50, okay, between himself and myself. And I financed the site, and from the first dollar, it would be 50 cents each, and I would recoup my investment as the site generated revenue, right? And so 2 months after the site was live, right, and I'm still trying to recover my investment, he decides that he wants to close down the site.
Yep.
So now, in this point in time, he's claiming openly that this guy, he was hired to manage the website and produce all the content on the website, that he paid for the web designer, that he paid for all of the back-end work, he paid for the server hosts and everything, and that he was trying to recoup his losses so he could pay his loan back to his cousin. Yet this guy right here says that he couldn't even manage the website because CRP didn't even pay the web designer and the fucking site got shut down. And the fucking website was crippled at that point, so the guy had to fucking pay for it to be reestablished. Then CRP seized control of the website and demanded that the guy give him more money, to which the guy told him to go fuck himself. And now at this point, they split, And apparently this guy decided that he was going to be shutting everything down because CRP was so cheap that he wouldn't hire somebody to manage the website on top of doing all of the content work. So he wanted this dude to manage the website, do all the clerical shit that he claimed in this conversation he was doing. Okay. All right. Okay. And then he was so cheap he wouldn't hire somebody to help this dude out, yet he thought he was entitled to 50% of the profits when this guy is doing all of the work, including all of the clerical work for the website. You are a fucking liar, CRP. And then apparently there's an email between them. I'd like to talk to you about an idea, a way to monetize your site's traffic. It will be successful on the basis of my current site, SPG.com. I'm in the process of implementing it with a mutual friend, Max Kaiser. He argued that it would involve very little work for me, a video a week, an audio podcast, a blog entry, and a monthly webinar. In return for a revenue stream, he would let me offload my unwanted work onto support staff, and I'd get a tidy income on top of me. And he's got the emails too, showing that if we can get 300 new subscribers a month, which is completely achievable, that would represent the income for Steve an approximate $180,000 in the first year. So they get the here's where they got the capital account set up. Here's where they decided to do everything through Echo Chamber Media. They would get a domain name from Echo Chamber Media for the nominal sum of $1. Here's the profits. See, now I'll believe this guy because this guy has spreadsheets. He knows the exact profits, he knows the exact costs, and the exact net. Because what the weirdest part about it was that when it came to the revenue share, CRP demanded that they split 50-50 gross income, not 50-50 net, which I thought was weird because he's an investor, but he doesn't know to take net over gross. So the guy said that his initial first income was $7,500 versus the initial cost of $2,500 for video production. So he's still making a hefty sum. And at this point, he says that the amount of money that he's making is way below what CRP promised him. Now, as we can see earlier from CRP's explosive expose that he just did exposing Ralph, he tends to overpromise and never deliver, and he did the same thing to this guy in business. So he promised this guy he was going to be making thousands of dollars a month. His initial protection, or his initial projections were $15,000. Or no, wait, that's what the yearly memberships. So he was saying that this guy was going to make a lot of money, but he didn't. I mean, look at how slowly it's growing. 15,000 the first month. By the second month, it's only gone up $5,000, 5,200 or something like that. So, in fact, it's not the case. So from what this guy is saying, the second month was somewhat better, but I made an error and they exaggerated the apparent performance. I thought I was getting information on new subscriptions only, so 108 newly monthly subscribers for September, in addition to the 38 that signed up back in August. So all of what CRP's been promising this guy is not happening. In fact, it was not the case. The yearly subscribers were new, but the monthly subscribers included those who had continued from the previous month. So he falsely believed that the revenue he was seeing from monthly subscribers would grow to be quite substantial, but that was his own mistake. In November, he saw those results. In addition to the distraction from the UWS and the economic degree, it wiped out the next 5 months of profits for him. So now his profits in October went from $20,450 to $5,470. The financial viability on the site, which was a second tier issue, became the first tier. By the next month, it had gone down to $3,960. With my false belief that the figures I was seeing were new signups of both monthly and yearly subscribers, I became concerned for what appeared to be a growing discrepancy between what he was receiving, which is half of the totals on the shown on the tables, to what he thought the site was actually earning. You get to December, he's barely gone up, probably less than fucking, let's see, so he's gone up $80. $80 in fucking gross that month. When he saw the December results, he challenged CRP over this. We need to talk urgently. I was waiting for this month's payment to confirm, but you are only transferring me the revenue from the new signups. You're not giving me the payments from the continuing customers. The discrepancy is now enormous. By my calculations, you now owe me $9,977. See the attached spreadsheet? The two tables below are copied from the sheet to confirm that your payments to me of this date are for new signups and do not include monthly payments of $25 and $40 subscribers. So CRP is literally Jewing this guy out of fucking money. And this guy, look at this, he keeps track of all of the calculations of the subscription. He's got every single thing tabulated. And I'll believe this guy because he has all of the facts. He has the emails. He has everything you need. And all you have from fucking CRP is bullshit stories. Let's see. I'm gonna bring Ralph in, and we're gonna stream snipe CRP. Ralph, you're on the air. You talking there, Ralph? Let me double check. I think I have Discord muted because people were spamming me with DMs earlier. Give me a sec. All right, talk again, Ralph.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Coach Red Pill went live again. Are you watching this?
Yeah, I'm about to be. Anybody got a
He's
link to that
talking
shit?
it. Yeah, he's talking about his Plenty of Fish, or somebody set up a fake Plenty of Fish or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I just happened to have it on, and I thought, wait, is his stream replaying? But
all right, let's.
I guess it's new. I mean, I know it's new, but I don't know what he's talking about.
So, Ralpha males, gayest name ever, as I've said repeatedly, are all like the pedo Zoom. Yeah.
What is he
talking about? Nothing.
Are you listening?
Fine. You can
talking
think
about.
I'm lying or whatever the
He's
fuck.
talking about nothing.
I'm just going to put this out there so that people know that.
I guess he's thinking. I don't know. I don't even know what he's. Yeah. So obviously, I saw what he said earlier. I actually got off the air because I was like, you know what? I don't know what all he's gonna say. What all he's gonna try to, accuse me of. So I'm just gonna watch this off air. Zidane already had to leave an hour earlier. We talked before the show about that. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna get off air. I actually mentioned this to you too. And just see what he's saying. And then I watched the stream, and frankly, I thought it was pretty pathetic. I don't know what he thought that accomplished. He also said some outright lies about me. Like you started talking about his pay for the room, and I actually came up and said, and he gave me $100. He gave Andy $150. He had some story about.
I don't know, man. I heard from Andy that he only got like 100 or 150 altogether, and that you didn't get anything. I don't know. Maybe he didn't hear that.
He did. He did give me $100, and I gave it to a waitress. We were at a bar, and this waitress was making fun of Coach, and actually she's making fun of pretty much everybody. And I gave her the $100 for a tip. She wasn't a waitress; she was a bartender. Excuse me. And just to piss Coach off. Actually, I wish I'd have kept the $100 now, but I just did it as a joke.
I gotta dislike this video.
So yeah, he did actually give me $100 though.
And he's also claiming that you were blackout drunk at a club. Apparently, you were drunk, blackout. You went outside to yell at somebody for making noise outside of a club, and he pulled you away by himself.
So yeah, I know. The powerful pill. No, what happened was I was at the house and that we were staying at, and some people were like, there was a gate in front of our house, and then you open the gate and then you go to the door and then you're inside. So some people were out there like beating on the gate, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are you motherfuckers doing? And so I went to the gate and then they like got me back in. That's all that happened on that.
Well,
so
here's
yeah,
another reason why I don't believe a single thing that Coach says. Because Coach claims that you went out and you were in the street and you were less than 5 feet away from a cop. And I know this specifically because I talked to Andy and you while you were in Knoxville. Neither of you knew how to work the goddamn code for the gate. And the only person that knew how to work the code for the gate to get you guys inside was Gator, and he was asleep. So there's no way in hell that even you drunk were able to walk out there and get pulled back while being belligerently drunk by Coach Red Pill, who's a 51-year-old boomer and physically weak. He has the frame of Gumby. And he's pulling back a drunk Ralph, and he's somehow going to figure out how to do the code for the gate when he couldn't even do it sober and he couldn't even do it wide awake.
So the thing is, you could open the gate from the inside, but if you were on that, I didn't bother learning the code the whole time I was there. Like,
nobody knew the code besides Dick
Gator. Finally learned it like the last day or so. He finally learned it. Gator knew it from the start, but I never knew it the whole time. I would just like beat on the gate until they opened it. But I was already inside. I'd come back from Barley's. I came back to go to sleep. Where we were at, there was like a club right next door. There were bars all in the area. So some people were drunk or whatever, and they were outside. They were beating on the gate, which, like I said, there's the gate in the front. Then you open that, you walk a few steps, you're inside. Now the gate locks when you close it. So I was inside. They were beating on the door, and I was pissed off because I was trying to go to sleep. And so I was like, I walked out, I opened the door. I was like, get the fuck out of here. What are you motherfuckers doing? We're trying to sleep. This is a house. And then Coach just got me back inside. That's all that happened on that. But I was never outside the gate the whole time, so I was still on private property. And honestly, I feel like that was precipitated by them beating on the fucking gate. So I don't think I was in the wrong there, but that's what happened. Yeah. Breaking news: I had a few drinks in Knoxville. I guess that's what it came down to. I just think the whole thing was unnecessary because I didn't say anything about the guy, and I don't know. That's what he felt. That's what he felt like he had to do. So
I'm looking at Cal and the general gist of what Coach is saying for that stream. Apparently was that somebody is using his account or his email accounts to set up dating profiles with weird kinks.
Oh, okay.
And he's claiming that it's me and that I'm running gay ops while I'm on live stream reading a fucking economics post by Steve Keen talking about how Coach is a piece of shit Jew who was stealing money from him as a business partner. And somehow I am able to multitask. I must have a laptop in my lap or something, and I'm just hacking away, just setting up dating profiles and Coach Boomer Pill's email accounts that somehow I would have to have access to so that I can confirm the accounts before I can even, set them up to the level that he's showing.
Yeah, I have no idea. Look, that could be anybody. I don't know what's going on. All I know is I still had his live stream channel up from where I was listening earlier, and then all of a sudden I heard it right before you pulled me on. I heard it come back on. I was thinking, what the fuck is this? This must be a replay or something. But no, it was actually new, and he felt the need to come on.
This guy is Jesse Smolletting himself live on the air.
Man, you know what? I don't know. I'm trying to take the high road on it. I just thought it was weird. I don't know. People set up fake accounts in my name all the time.
Fucking cake eater.
Yes. I don't know, man. I just thought, why even do this? He made a big deal about it, and I didn't even know he was coming on to talk about me. And we had Keem on, and then Keem all of a sudden said, "Oh wow, Coach sent a message to me, said he was going to expose you tonight." And I said, "Wait, what the fuck?" And then I saw it, and I don't know. I didn't really think there was much there, and I guess Coach, he just wants to, move away from the kill stream, move away from this part of the internet. That's fine with me, honestly. So
now,
I don't know. I wish him the best. So I don't really know what else to say. I'll probably respond more tomorrow night when I get to look at the clips because the stuff he claimed is just not true. He said, "Oh, well, Ralph didn't tell the truth about the Indiegogo, which originally we were going to have him involved with the Indiegogo." And I guess it was you that brought it up. And I said exactly what happened. I said it was going to be 25, 25, 25 for me, Coach, and Andy, and then 12.5 and 12.5 for the other two gentlemen involved. And Coach said that he didn't think they were worth the money. And him and Andy had a disagreement over that. And Andy didn't want to go forward with Coach, and Coach
Oh,
was kind of
really?
sour on him.
Because on his stream he said that he never said that they weren't worth the money. That he thought that Andy was trying to keep the other 25% for himself and his friends, and that they weren't going to be delivering the same quality that he was.
Yeah, well, he said they weren't worth the percentage, basically, and that he was already going to be filming stuff anyway, so that they should just be paid a flat rate. Which, I
Well,
mean, I don't.
From what Andy told me, he said, "Fuck them," like
Well,
flat out, and I'll believe Andy saying that because he was
pretty
angry.